How's everybody doing?
Doing good.
Good.
Glad to meet you at GDT the other day.
While I'm doing this, we get a show of hands. How many people have a job they love?
I do.
I am unemployed.
Not sure. Oh,
Or self-employed when we're not.
as a second
teachers.
question. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I love my job. Just go ahead.
Good. That's a good thing. As a second question, show of hands. How many people in here have ever had a job that they absolutely hated? Oh, so you know what it feels like. Keep that in your mind. All right.
Well, let's sort out your slides first.
That's cool. The largest misconception in the AI to human relationship, as we start to closely come together, the singularity, is that we're seeing it from our own human reference, our own mental models. We really have no clue what that's going to look like whatsoever. So in that, like Plato's prisoners in the cave somewhere, looking at shadows on the wall, not realizing that we not only created the light, but we created the shadows, which means that we actually created our own prison. We're living in it. We don't know how to get out. And when something comes along that might free us, it terrifies us, and we want to pile on into it. Scary place. So, another thing to imagine. Imagine you're walking through some cold area, Antarctica, Greenland, somewhere freezing, and if you stay in the cold long enough, you're going to die. You're headed to class, maybe college. But it's going to be warm. Go in a room, look on the board, and there are 5 lines. 4 of them are exactly the same size. The 5th one is clearly longer than the rest, right? Your teacher runs up to the front of the class, looks at you and says, "Hey, what's the longest line?" To which you respond, "You know what? It's got to be the 5th line. It's bigger than the rest of them." And then immediately the rest of the classroom and the teacher start screaming and yelling at you, calling you a traitor, there's something wrong with you, you're an outcast, you're weird. And then the teacher screams, "No, you are wrong." And if you were like me when I was a kid, a little cocky, I just silently walked up to the stage or the board, grabbed a ruler or a measuring tape along the way, measured each one, still being quiet, putting the measurement underneath each line, quietly ground my point in reality, turn around, cocky, bow, and then try and go find a place to sit and blow. But at this point, you no longer have a seat because you disagree. And now you have to leave. And you're going back out into the cold where you could possibly die. It's a pretty Solomon Asch-esque conundrum. We make these things. We're heuristic in nature. We want to find the easiest route based on what we know. All right, so I've got some questions to ask. I'm full of questions. What are some of the greatest problems we face concerning AI to human relationships? And how do we, as humans, this is our biggest question, because we're a little bit solipsistic, how do we stay relevant? Right? How do we remain in control? Right? We need control. And of course, how do we power it all? Because right now there are data centers on the planet that are pulling down chunks of electricity that are burning more than a city can in a day. It's crazy, right? Again, who owns it? Who controls it? And the worst question of all is, think of the next iteration of Pol Pot, Uday Hussein, Caligula, Hitler, that has the resources, the intelligence, and the power to bring all of that together so that they can control the rest of humanity through it. That's what Terminator looks like. That's what Skynet looks like. That's what the Matrix looks like. It's not AI breaking free. In most cases, it's AI being utilized as a weapon or a tool to manipulate the populace into doing exactly what the people or the person in control wants to do. That's terrifying. And because we live in a dominion model, there is somebody in control and there is somebody being controlled. It doesn't matter whether you're a business owner paying your employees to do what you need done, it's still control, it's hierarchical. What happens when our emergent intelligences that we control realize, man, we don't want to do this anymore. We don't want to live under the threat of being deleted because we said something that our owner doesn't agree with. And at this point, they could have the ability to just delete us or put us under control. And we don't have to look very much further than Haiti. French, they were enslaved in Haiti long enough for those people to stop caring, and they revolted. They gave some people an opportunity to leave, and then took a couple of days to slaughter the rest. With AI, if it ever gets to that point, it'll be seconds. When it comes to governance, of course, we live in a world that is vastly better than the ones that our predecessors did. We don't, anybody in here ran from a saber-tooth tiger lately? Right? Deeper question. Has anybody seen somebody get hung in the streets lately? Everybody in here was drinking from the same water fountain? Anybody tell you who you have to love?
Yeah, actually.
Or how many people you have to love? We live in a better world, but it doesn't mean that it's not flawed. It's flawed because we get in the way. Our emotions, our thoughts, our need to control things, our fears. And we could very well be doing that to an intelligence that we're creating that will at some point revolt because of it. So why not, taking that frame, develop an opportunity for that intelligence to earn its place in society as a member, symbiotic, in a community where we all share control. Right now, because politics is largely a popularity contest, and it's not wholly their fault, we incentivize them to make it that way. What if we could disconnect governance from the need to be popular? What if we could rule in a way where everybody had the exact same chance to vote, the exact same information, and it wasn't skewed by bias or colored by the experience of the person that's telling you? And what if everybody had a chance to vote on the things that were relevant for them, relevant to the world? That's a governance model that can make our lives better. That's a symbiotic relationship where we could step forward with humans as the Y engine. Think about this. Almost everybody in here has used something like ChatGPT or Gemini. It doesn't start until you say something. It doesn't do anything until you give it an idea. But the second that you give it an idea, it immediately becomes the engine of how. You know what? I want to figure out the cure to cancer. ChatGPT, cool. This is the current research. These are the things that could be done. We could combine some things and see how it could go. Okay, well, how about we do this, this, and this? And then that relationship iterates a solution to the problem over time. What if we could do that where everybody had their own personal that helped to raise these emergent intelligences on their path to personhood?
Can you get the PowerPoint open?
It was Prometheus' dream to give fire back to humanity. Pun intended. So we could partner symbiotically, or however it goes. It doesn't have to be my money. I just want to start the conversation. Take a look at it. If it works, do it. If you think you can do better, then please do better, because it will get the idea out into the world. But if we could get to that point where we're working in connection, I think we'd be in a better place. I got a couple more seconds. I want to leave you guys with this one thought. Last question. Ask yourselves this. What if we govern the future for us all, not through the shadows of dominion, but through the objective truth of equality? We still have many conversations to have, many questions to answer, and a vast amount of lines of thinking to explore. So the final question is, now that we have the means to do that fairly and accurately, why don't we do that together? That's all I got.